What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, just a little disclaimer. If you see me looking off a little bit, it's because I have a monitor right here, right over here. I have this flipped horizontally on OBS. And then I have my camera right here. How y'all doing? It's January 2nd, 2026, and we made it into another year. Happy New Year, you beautiful bastards. You're not a bastard, but you beautiful people, okay? Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, belated Christmas to you. I'm glad to see you, even though I can't see you. I'm glad to know you. I'm glad you made it over. I'm glad you made it in. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Today, something happened, okay? To me, it's great. It's great for me, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is because it's awesome. Today, January 2nd, 2026, drum roll please, I passed one phase of a 10K two-phase challenge. And I know you're thinking like, girl, you should have been funded. Yes, that's true. But give me some time, give me some grace, because when I tell you 2025 was not my friend, it was not my friend. It was not my friend, girlfriend. You guys, I went through hell last year in the month of October. I just went through hell. I believe I told you guys about it, how I lost my granny. My other granny, she just, I got two grannies. Everybody got two grannies. Actually, I got like three. I lost my granny on my dad's side, and I'm about to lose my other granny on my mom's side, and it hurt right here. I lost a promotion. I had to walk away from a promotion, and just some things didn't work out for me in 2025, right? And I feel like all of that is like, like in the market we have consolidation, and it builds up to where you have this great expansion, up or down. And I feel like God is preparing. If you believe in God, I feel like Spirit, I'll say, is preparing me for greater expansion. All those things was a sign for me to be able to get here, be able to know that, okay, this is something that I feel like you're supposed to be doing. I feel like that. Before I get into showing you guys the dashboard and the trades and how the trade came about, I want to tell you a little bit about how I got the challenge itself. I think back in November, Alpha Capital was having a sale. It was like you can get a 10K account for like $40 or something like that. And at the time, I had 100K with Think Capital Challenge. Wasn't funded. It was a 3-step, and I really wasn't trying to trade it, but I ended up losing it actually in October not October, it was in December. Because I traded news and they didn't even give me a soft breach. They took the whole thing. So I was just like, all right, I'm done. Right now, no Think Capital right now. I'm not doing it. Then I turned around and lost my 5K with them. So I was like, okay, that's out the way. And so now I just have the TX3 funding 25K account that I should have been passed, to be honest. But we'll get to that in a minute. And then I have 3 accounts with Bright funding that are still challenges. So I got challenges for days. Alpha Capital was having a sale, 10K for $40. I got one, and one of my fellow Discord members, his name is Gerald. You guys hear me talk about him a lot in some of my videos if you watch some of my videos, my past videos. And what I wanted to do was I said, hey, Gerald, let's do this little 10K together. It's a small account. Let's get funded together because we weren't funded. So he's like, okay. So what we decided to do was basically journal inside the Discord, which we did. And, every trade that we took, we journaled it, and we talked about how we came up with it, why we wanted to trade it, etc., etc. You know how you do with, journals and things of that nature. So we did that. Last week, Gerald let me know that he lost his account due to slippage or something like that. And I was sad. I was bummed because I really wanted to do, I wanted to get funded together because none of us were funded. Nobody in the Discord is funded that I know of, right? And so I really wanted to use it as also a motivation piece to be able to be like, okay, well, we're going to do this together and we're going to get funded and just create some type of like motivation and excitement inside the Discord. So when Gerald lost his account, I was like, okay, I still have my account, so I need to figure out how I'm going to pass it. And so during this time, I felt like I was going through this like rough patch in trading. I felt like a bad trader. You guys know I trade Asian session. I wanted to be a swing trader, and it just wasn't working out for me all across the board. And when it came to trading, I sucked. I sucked so bad. Like, it was horrible in 2025. I didn't get funded, as you guys know, and I made no money, and it was just horrible. it was partially due to, I feel like, the pairs that I was trading and the times that I was trading. It was like everything in conjunction with everything was bad. I'm gonna take you guys through the not the Discord. I might take you through the Discord, but I'm also gonna take you through the dashboard of Alpha Capital, and I'm gonna take you guys over to TradingView, and we're gonna look at the trade from the daily all the way down to the entry time frame, which is the 5 minute, and I'm gonna explain to you the best way that I can how I entered this trade, what the bias was, and all the things that go along with it. Okay, so let's get over it into the dashboard. All right, so this is the dashboard for Alpha Capital. So we're gonna go through this one, and let's see, what do I want to show you guys? Let's go. I'm probably gonna have to back this up a little bit. Yeah, because I can't, that's too big. So when did I start this challenge? I started this challenge when? November. I started in December. I had to, yeah. No, November. I bought it in November. November 3rd is when I took my first trade. I would just be placing little trades here and there. What is this trade? I traded what? I had 2 trades on this day. I traded GBP CAD. Yeah. That was the one I lost that I made a video about, and I said it sold down and it left without me. I got stopped out on this one. Yeah. And I came back. I learned my lesson. Came back with EuroCAD. Because I'm telling y'all, I'm going to figure this CAD stuff out. I'm telling you. But, yeah, these are the trades that I took. I took little small trades just to account for the activity rule. That's 108 on EuroCAD. Because I was trying to stay with the CAD challenge. I was telling y'all, like, I'm a CAD person. I just need to figure out really how it moves with the strategy that I trade now, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. All right, so let's speed this up a little bit. Let's get to January. So this is the only trade I took today. I mean, for the rest of this month. When I tell you this one got on my nerves. All right, so of course I'm going to take you through the trade. But I held this trade from market open, because I got on the chart around 7, got in the trade, found the trade, and held it. I watched it until I closed it out, right? I didn't leave this seat until I closed it out, right? Because I wanted to make sure that this strategy was not going to screw me over. So I held it until it got to the TP, right? It wicked, but it didn't take me out. Like, it wicked up to the TP line, but it didn't take me out, right? So it went like 1,000, because the target profit was like 1,000. It said 1,001, and then it went back down. But then it took me out, like, when it went back up. But when I tell you, it was literally $1 off. It was $1 off, and it pissed me off so bad. So instead of going in with, like, a high lot size, I just went in with a 0.01 lot, like a smart person. And I calculated how much money I needed. So I calculated, no, it was less than $1. It was like 50 cents. And I went in there, and the first time I didn't get it, I got like 10 cents, as you can see. And then the next time I got it, it was 20 cents, 21 cents. And I was over by maybe like 5 cents. And I was like, okay. I was so, because I'm telling you, I wasn't leaving. I wasn't getting up until I had passed this challenge. I wasn't even playing. I've been through too much for me not to pass this challenge. So that's pretty much what happened. I didn't trade that many trades. I think in total, it was like less than 10 trades, I think. Yeah. I think the total was like 5 lots in total. Now, this particular trade, I used a 2 lot. I calculated it. I could have passed it in less pips because I have a formula now. All right, so let's get into the trade that helped me pass this challenge. Okay, so we're in TradingView, and I'm going to, well, I have to do a bar replay because I did not record this in real time. I hope you guys are okay with that, but it's the only way that I can show you how it all went down. All right, we're going to start from the daily time frame and we're going to go from there. But we did enter on the 5 minute. I believe this is the 1 hour, but it is the 1 hour is one of the time frames that are inside the time frame alignment. I want to say bracket, because you have the weekly, the 4 hour, and the 15 minute, and then you have the daily to the 1 hour to the 5 minute. You can even go so far as the 1 minute, but I'm not touching it. All right, so starting off on the daily, there is a few things that I do want to say about this before we get started, and I'll try not to be before you too long. Okay, let me get rid of some things here. Okay, so on the daily, we see that we have GBP USD on the left and Euro USD on the right. I normally would trade the forever model. This looks like a forever model setup. It is a forever model setup. The only difference between the forever model setup and the fractal model is the way that you enter. The time frames are the same. It's just about how you enter. Sometimes you can enter on the 1 hour if you're using the daily, or you can go so far or so low as to enter on the 5 minute, which is what I did. I'm not used to doing it, but for this one, I did it and it just seemed to work out for me. I'll go through the forever model for those of you who do not know how it works, especially for a bullish or a continuation, which is what this is. So the forever model says that you want to wait if you're going from internal, which is a fair value gap, to external, which is the buy draw that you see that's labeled number 4. You want to wait till price comes and tags a key level, right? Once price comes into an internal range liquidity pool and tags the key level, you want to wait until there's SMT inside of that key level, okay? We have SMT, which is marked number 3, which is purple. And then on the right, we have Euro USD, which has the bearish SMT. Then you go down to your aligned time frame, which is the 1 hour, and you look for your change in state delivery. Or you can go down to the 5 minute to enter, and then you would just look for the same thing. Okay, that's exactly the steps for that. All right, so on Monday, we opened low, expanded higher, and then on Tuesday, we opened high, and then we closed low. On Wednesday, we opened low, we expanded higher, and then we closed back into the range. We did not take out this previous day high after taking out this previous day low. So on today, Friday, I was looking for price to expand higher to take out the previous day's high up here, as well as take out the rest of this external range liquidity, aka the buy side or the buy draw. But it ended up reversing because it is Friday, which is what Fridays are known for, and it traded back into the range. When I saw this, I knew that we were going bullish. I knew we were doing a continuation. I just didn't know how to enter this trade. That's something that, for the most part, especially with reversal, especially when we're going from the external, which is where the buy draw is, down into the internal, which is where the fair value gap is, I have a hard time when you get onto the hourly or the 5 minute. I have a hard time trying to figure out where my order block is. With this particular method, I know exactly where for the most part, I know where my order block is. And this one thing right here helped me to figure that out. Okay, we're going to get to that in a second. So now I know what I'm looking for in terms of bias. I know that we are in a bullish fair value gap, and we have SMT between two correlated assets, which is a must. Okay, listen to me well. I understand that some of you are content with just trading one asset, but me, myself, and I will never trade just one asset. I have learned, ever since I've learned about correlated assets, I can't just trade one asset. The reason being is, like you see in front of you, on the left, we have bullish SMT, and on the right, we have bearish SMT with EU, okay? So if I were just an EU trader, and I'm pretty sure that the DXY could help you, I'm pretty sure if you paired it with that, I'm pretty sure it's the same. But if I were just, say if I didn't know anything about the DXY, and I traded EU solely, and that's it, that's all I trade, and I saw the setup, I'd lose, because not only did it take out the previous day's low, but it traded through the fair value gap. Whereas GU is the stronger pair, EU would be the weaker pair. It failed to take out the previous day's low. It is the stronger pair. That's it. So ever since I found out about pair correlation, it's just been a game changer. I hope that those of you who trade one pair, you have some sort of index, such as the DXY or the CXY or the AXY, because they all have one, and you try to correlate with that, because it's a game changer. I'll tell you like that. So now that I have all these confluences, the one thing that I'm missing that I did not know about, and it is marking up the wick. If you take a GAN box or a rectangle, or you get you a fib and you just mark out the 0.5. If you're doing a rectangle, you can just mark out this is just a rectangle. But if you want to get a GAN box, I have a GAN box down there, or a fib, and you just mark the middle line. Color it so you can see it. And according to the strategy, you don't want price to, when price opens up and forms this new wick, you don't want it to go below 50% of the previous day's wick, which is an expansion wick. Okay, so I marked out the wick. So when price opened up, I went to the aligned time frame, which is the 1 hour, and I tried to see if I could form a trade. Now, price was, we got to do bar replay. So price opened up, it formed a wick. Let's see here, and it took out this. So once it took out this, I knew it was going to become my swing. So as we play price forward, of course you guys already know, as I'm seeing this, I know, we got to go back again. I know that I'm looking for my change in state delivery. I know that, right? Now, I know that a change in state delivery for a bullish run or continuation up is a series of down close candles. So I see this retracement here, and I see this series of down close candles. So I know that this is going to be my change in state delivery. But on the hourly time frame, I'd have to wait to be able to get up here. So I decided to go down to the 5 minute so I can get an earlier entry. So when we came down to the 5 minute, play price forward, I'm looking for price to take out a low. Okay, so price took out this low right here. Right here. Now, I need for price to create a swing. Now that price has created a swing right here. This is our new swing. Swing low right here. This series of down close candles is my change in state delivery. So all I need is for price to close above these series of down close candles, and then I can look to enter this trade. And that's exactly what I did. It took a minute, but it happened. So we closed here. That is where I entered. On the higher time frame, on the hourly, this is where I would have entered at. So I would have been missing a few pips if I had waited, right? So the lower time frame is not really scary. It's just, it gives you a better entry. And we just went up from there. I set my target, and that was it. Now the issue came, now I was out of the trade. When it hit that, I was out of the trade. But the issue came for me later when I seen price retrace back down to the entry point. So I was glad that all I needed was 50 pips, because I calculated it out with my formula, and that's all I needed. Once I got I didn't even need a whole 50 pips, because I'd already made profit earlier before I placed the trade. I had like $125. I was $125 in profit before I placed the trade. So I just minus that from my target profit, or my profit target, I'm sorry. And I got 43.8 pips. So that I needed. So for those of you who are having a hard time trying to figure out how many pips you're going to need for your profit, for your prop firm challenges and things like that, it's a simple formula. It's, I mean, I'll just tell you, it's, hold on 1 second. Uh, Give me 1 second. All right. For those of you who are having an issue with your prop firm challenge, pips and profit targets and things of that nature, it's a simple formula. Like, it's very simple. So it's basically your exchange rate. Okay, it's your exchange rate. Whatever pair you're going to trade, it's an exchange rate. So times your lot size, and then you divide that by your prop firm's phase one, phase two, phase three profit target, and that's going to give you the exact pips that you're going to need. When I tell you it will help you to figure out how many pips you're going to need, so that you don't have to guess, you don't have to wonder, you don't have to be trying to wing it and be like, oh, I need this many dollars. Like, I don't see prop firm challenges in dollars. I see them in pips. Because once you understand how many pips you're going to need, it takes the guess, for me, it takes the guesswork out of everything. And that's what helped me pass this challenge, because I wasn't thinking about money. I was thinking about pips. Any questions or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. You guys are blessed. Take care. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Toodles.